It's often said that the strength of one person is nothing compared to the power of a team. And over the next 3 days, from sunrise to sunset, set against the stunning backdrop of river valleys, rocky peaks and historic locations, that teamwork will be tested to the limit in an event that is truly unique. Welcome to the UK Challenge. And the setting here in the Peak District is as spectacular as it is challenging. To be crowned champions in 2023, the teams are going to have to navigate on land and water by foot, bike and canoe. And all the while solving puzzles and riddles that require the kind of mental gymnastics that would leave most of us needing to go for a lie down. If ever there was a true test of brains and brawn, then this is it. So to kick things off, stage one requires our teams to lace up their metaphorical footy boots as they try to progress from the lower leagues all the way to the top of the Premiership table. And as with the best football club teams in the world, this is going to require excellent fitness and meticulous planning if our UK Challenge teams hope to win the trophy. So without further ado, let's go and join your match commentator, Rob Walker.
Thanks very much, Kev. Well, the pitch is this magnificent Wentworth Castle estate. 75 teams from various industries taking part, all excited, but there are one or two feeling the pressure and the burden of expectation ahead of the big start.
Expect the unexpected, be physically and mentally challenged, but honestly I don't think we know what to expect other than it's going to be hard and we're going to need to come together and work as a team.
In decathlon generally we're pretty sporty anyway, so teamwork, that's one of our strengths.
Everyone in the team's got different strengths and weaknesses, so we're going to pull each other through and hopefully come out with a win.
We want to beat all the other PA teams. That's our goal.
Well, one team whose goal is definitely coming out on top is the squad from Airbus. They were magnificent in the UK Challenge a few years ago, then came a break. They returned in 2019 and they know exactly what's required to turn that around in 23.
It's everything. I mean, it's the planning, the teamwork, the leadership, communication, everything that you need to have a good team, basically. And yeah, we just love pushing ourselves for 3 days.
So too do the boys from Waka Waka, a team of Chinook pilots who took top spot last year, and they are back bidding for a successful title defence.
Planning is our bread and butter and what we do every day whenever we go flying, and making those timings is the most important thing. So even if we get a bit of a setback, we can push ourselves hard enough with a little bit of flex in the plan in order to make that time.
Accenture are another company who've won this event in the past, and this year they've brought an incredible 14 teams to ensure they dominate the league once more.
We've got very strong teams. Well, we're saying that I've come second twice now, so I don't know if I'm the reason, but yeah, hopefully this year we'll be at the front.
Gatsby is gunning for glory, but not all the teams are here to win. They've each got their own goals and aspirations, whether it's to improve their teamwork or work on strategical planning. They will discover plenty of everything here on this tough course. 7 magnificent stages, and it is just about to begin. Oh, there's a clear false start there from Accenture Technology. He's jumped the gun and he's got a couple of metres on the best of the rest. Now, if you're not familiar with UK Challenge, this is an all-out sprint to collect the instructions for the stage before heading back to their teammates to come up with a plan of how to conquer all. It's not all about raw speed, but there's certainly plenty of confidence being shown in these early stages. The sun is shining in the Peak District. Good running there from Accenture S&C out front. The early pace setter now being swallowed up by the pack. Oh, and look at this for a dip finish from the Apache Harriers, gaining half a second or so on Accenture S&C. And now the sealed envelopes can be opened and the teams can work on their strategy for this football-themed stage. Now, every single one of these 7 stages is themed with varying levels of difficulty across physical, intelligence and strategy. Every single team member's contribution is vital. Comes down to the old adage sometimes, more haste, less speed. Electronic checkpoints are dotted all over the estate grounds, which represent football fixtures which the teams must visit to play. As usual, 3 points for a win, 1 for a draw. Now listen, the games must be played both home and away, and the order in which they're played dictates exactly how many points are on offer. So many different ways to tackle the same problem, and it's up to the teams to work out their most efficient winning strategy. But as is always the case with UK Challenge, it's not always as easy as it looks.
Away, but you can dip both.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No. But we're going to 7, you're going to 8 next.
Yeah.
I thought you was writing all this down.
No, Jane told me not to.
I didn't tell you not to.
You did. Yeah, away.
Yeah. You're not doing them in order.
I am 8, 9, 10.
Oh, well, Lincoln's home, so number 2 is Wycombe Wanderers.
And what went wrong here?
Well, we didn't know if it was home or away, so we kind of had to shout them back.
Bolton.
And you've got to dip in order as well, haven't you?
Dip in order.
No, the date order.
You didn't tell me that.
What can you do?
I'm going to punch you in a minute. You just mucked me up. Right.
Team building.
Well, I'm sure Sporting Force will sort out their working differences. And once the teams have enough points, they can also earn promotion to the Championship or even to the Premier League by coming back to the castle and solving tricky Mensa puzzles. Once they've been promoted to the higher division, every game is then worth more time bonus, but they lose all their points from their lower division encounters. Every team, once again, has their own strategy for coping and making the most of the opportunity. Plenty of teams seem pretty happy with how they've done in Stage 1. Let's see whether Sporting Force managed to resolve their differences of opinion.
There was a little bit of miscommunication, so what we need to do in the next round is actually talk to each other properly and read the stage notes.
Jen, you learn from your mistakes. It's the first one. We go again.
It wasn't my mistake, it was a team mistake. We're all in it together.
It was very hard, but I think we actually worked together really well as a team, and we're proud. It was good. It was really good.
We did what we planned to do. Where we finished, I got no idea.
Well, last year's winners certainly look pleased with their early performance this time round.
Yes, boys. I'm a bit apprehensive, didn't know what to expect, and it's tough. Yeah, we've gone pretty hard on the first stage, so we'll see how we get on in the next few days.
We did promote. We've got a number of fixtures, but until you top the maths up, you don't know if it's worthwhile.
Well, Gatsby's team Accenture S&C look like they've given it everything on this opening stage.
Well, I'm objectively quite a good runner, and that was incredibly difficult. So, yeah, surprising start to UK Challenge, but made it in the end.
Well, as the points are calculated, only 2 teams made it to the cup final and earned themselves a chance to take part in a penalty shootout to earn extra bonus time. Accenture Banking in purple against AWE's novice team in green. Where you score determines how many points you pick up. Oh, that's wide of the mark. That is unforgivable. Oh, that's a solid 250 into the bottom. Top right or top left is 500 points. Nobody's hit that just yet. Oh, that was nonchalantly done there. Oh, and he's gone over the bar. Head in hands. That is awful. And Accenture think they've done it. They have now. Jess Harwood with 500 points, taking the title and in style. The crowd went wild. Well, sort of. What a way to finish. Well, that penalty shootout victory brought Accenture Banking up to 7th, but the tactics of staying in the lower divisions have paid off for Airbus One. They're in the lead.
After this afternoon's Premier League start, our attention now turns to an evening game of Scrabble, where collecting the letters in the right order is key. And a triple word score or a triple letter score could spell the difference between success and failure. And who will be smart enough to work out the 7-letter word that could have them celebrating as they cross the finish line by walking like an Egyptian?
Oh, cryptic clue there from Kev Harris. Let's see if the teams are smart enough to crack it. A floodlit sprint to collect the instructions. Now, there are 7 letters on offer around the Sheffield University campus. Usual Scrabble rules apply. Each letter has a points value. Bringing them back and creating longer words are worth more points. But how many words can they make before they run out of time? And do they go for the big 7-pointer? Answers on a postcard, please.
So what we do is we go and do I and D. Right, we can't reuse the same word. So what are we doing now? Paid. So let's get rid of paid. And then out of D.
So what will the tactics be for our early leaders?
Going well with you guys so far, leading after the first stage?
We've got some good words. We've just got to now hit them before the stage finishes in 45 minutes. So it's a lot of running to do and a lot of synchronising. So hopefully we've got it.
Well, the shorter the words, the quicker they are to retrieve. The longer the words, the more points are in the bag. Now, to make things faster, teams can retrieve letters in pairs, but they need to be careful in the order in which they collect them, because any spelling mistakes on retrieval means no points for the word. To earn a bonus such as a double letter point, or in this instance a triple word point, you need to use your brains. Tricky Mensa puzzles are required to be completed to earn the vital bonus. In a minute we'll give you the chance to have a go at one to test your UK Challenge potential. Remember, there's another event coming up next year. And some of these teams are clearly thriving in the late night Scrabble spotlight.
Congratulations, Norda, you got the 7-letter word.
Thank you very much. We were a bit worried because we thought it wasn't going to be expected, but we got there in the end.
And a triple word score.
Yeah, absolutely.
So your Scrabble skills are on point tonight?
Tonight, yes. I don't know how or why, but they are.
Well, a self-deprecating response there from UCL. They got the 7-letter word. Did you? Kev's clue gave us an insight, perhaps. Walk like an Egyptian? Well, you would have done if you'd been around a pyramid. Well, the team with their targets on their backs are Waka Waka because they are the defending champions, but they've been stuck at this double letter point for 2 minutes and they still haven't solved it. This is tricky. They need to find the next 2 numbers in the sequence. If you need a clue, I certainly do, what if we separate the numbers? 28 might turn out to be a bit of a clue. Days of the month? Possibly. Will they get it?
So we get 8. We get 4 points. So it's only a minute. 4 minutes. 3 points is a minute. Is it? Yeah.
Should we just turn it off?
Let's turn this off.
Let's turn it off, right, and you're in. Right. Unless can you get it immediately?
Well, Waka Waka realising they're not going to solve it, and it is so much easier when you can see it on a screen, so they decided to not waste any further time. But the problems were about to get worse for Waka Waka. They collected all the letters for pyramid. However, they did so in the wrong order. So 0 points for Pymarid. And they're not the only team struggling.
Not going so well, not a good time to be caught on camera.
Well, Compass One look pretty happy with their night's work. And they're not the only team finishing the day with a smile on their faces.
Chaps, well done. 2 stages done. How are you feeling?
It's the legs. The legs are burning. Absolutely burning.
Already? There's 5 stages to go.
I know, but we'll just take each stage as it comes.
Well done. You are 2 stages down, 5 to go. How are you all feeling?
Fresh, very fresh. This was just, like a warm-up. We're ready to take on Pillager!
You did it. Is it sleep time or is it planning time now?
Maybe a bit of both, actually. We'll have to see, I think.
But did we get the strategy right alongside having fun?
I think the main thing for us is our last stage wasn't great, but we all worked on what our weaknesses were, and we all came together for a really solid stage this time. We executed the plan perfectly, which is really nice after a rough first stage.
And Rob, just smashing out 4 and 5 letter words in that one, lots of them, was it, or what were you doing?
We went for longer words, so we got our 7, I think we got a 6 as well, and then a couple of shorter ones. So yeah, we'll see how it works out, whether it's better doing that or more shorter words.
As the clock ticks past midnight, the teams head back to their rooms, but they're not all destined for a good night's sleep.
And here's where the hard yards of UK Challenge are done. Late night strategy sessions and sleep deprivation are the trade-off for just finishing a stage, coming back and getting your head down early. But it's this kind of effort that might just make the difference between winning and losing. Here's where we find out who's woken up with a spring in their step as the teams take on what is arguably the most physically demanding stage on bike and foot. The Peak District is not called so without good reason. So on this one, we can expect steep climbs that will need to be combined with the right team strategy that hopefully they planned before lights out late last night. This one is going to be a tough one. So here's Rob to tell us more.
Thanks, Kev. Here's a quick update on the leaderboard after the first day. Waka Waka's problems mean the defending champions are down in 9th, Accenture S&C in 3rd, Airbus 1 2nd, but it's AWE Dream Team leading after 2.
Everyone's going to be tired this morning. You got to factor that into the distances that you're travelling, how long, because timing is a key today. So you've got to factor in how tired you're going to be, and obviously we're in the Peak District, so it's super hilly. You got to keep that in mind as well.
Accenture are a team who've won this event 5 times, and they're well aware of the importance of strategy, and as such they spent most of last night planning.
In this situation like this, where some people are running in one direction, some people are cycling another, have you planned what happens if it doesn't quite work out? How do you know what to do?
I think on the most part we've played it like slightly safe, especially kind of what we learned from yesterday's stage where we kind of pushed it. So this is very much, we got a solid strategy, it's fairly comfortable, it's not too bad, so we just need to execute it now.
Right, guys, very best of luck. You're in a podium position at the moment, so let's see what happens after this one. Gonna go higher?
Yeah, we'll go higher.
Big talk there from Accenture S&C. There are only 2 places left to go from 3rd. Now the last information they need for stage 3 is collected with this familiar sprint start. This one is all about the physical and the strategy. Speaking of which, it's a 4-hour challenge, this one. Let's hope they're still as quick as this come the finish line. Right, the teams are back together. Now comes the really difficult bit. Plenty of deliberation for the 6 squad members who share 4 bikes between them. A beautiful yet challenging way of seeing one of the most picturesque parts of Great Britain. And if it's tough on 2 wheels, imagine what it must be like on 2 legs.
Slow motion.
Nothing wrong with the debut performance of AWE novices so far. They're in 4th overall.
We've got a bike pair that's going to dip at 1 hour 36 roughly, and then we need to dip here, and then we've got a bike pair that's then dipping a minute after us here. So this is planned to the minute. So pretty risky, but hopefully it goes well.
What a bold strategy. Tight timings are great, but only if they work. If they don't, things get tough.
Yes, thank you.
Seeing contours on a map is one thing. Negotiating them on or off the bike is quite another, because the Peak District is as unforgiving as it is stunning.
We're going to have to go and reevaluate.
What's the overall feeling from the team at Henley about UK Challenge so far?
Absolutely loving it. It's been such a good experience so far. Even though it's been physically draining, mentally draining, if you don't challenge yourself, what's the point in living?
A great attitude with which to take on this UK Challenge. 3 decades of history from this event. In its time, it's taken place in the Highlands of Scotland, on Dartmoor, the Isle of Man, and this year's edition in the Peak District is absolutely living up to its star-studded billing. What a backdrop, and what a challenge in so many different ways. Most are still enjoying it, I think.
Went all the way to the top to try and find the checkpoint, so about an hour and a half, and then we couldn't find it.
So we came all the way back. So I'm ready for lunch.
Total concentration required on the descents as well as the climbs. Oh, Team 92, the veterans, are flying back to base. Not quite so quick going for some of the others. And some really have climbed a very, very long way today. So what relief to get back to some sustenance and some applause. Stage 3 is in the bag.
So we've been up to the top of that one, and then all the way up to the top of that one as well. So literally every area of the map over this side is just, it's been mental. It's been rather wild at times, but it's been really good fun.
I'm so proud of myself. I didn't think I could do something like this, but I feel really chuffed.
The best.
Woo! Yeah.
Team CGI.
Some gorgeous views out there, but some decent climbs, and I think the bike guys have had a good workout as well. So yeah, good.
Well, all that effort certainly makes for interesting reading on the leaderboard. AWE Dream Team are down to third, Accenture S&C up to second, Airbus 1 are leading, and one or two unfancied teams suddenly find themselves in the mix.
The latest scores as of this point in time. Team 30, CGI Leatherhead Bradypus.
Yeah.
You're in 4th place.
Amazing!
The top of the table Airbus, their plan seems to be working so far.
Playing it big, going for it, has obviously paid off.
It does. It has to be the right strategy. It's about, thinking of the order, making sure that you're getting the maximum reward for the effort that you're putting in, which is what we try to do. Optimise the route, but everyone pulled a hard graft this morning. Our legs are feeling it a bit now. But now it's time to get out on the canoes and see how that goes.
Stage 4 sees the teams take to the water for the first time in this espionage-themed extravaganza. But navigating to the checkpoints on both water and land is only for starters. It's going to be all about finding the special agents lurking in the undergrowth if you want to score the points on this stage. Who's going to be in the boat?
It's going to be myself and Anna again. Just hoping that we've got enough gas left in the tank after the big bike stage earlier on.
Well, the arms haven't had a workout yet, have they?
Exactly. Well, we let these two pump up the boat for us to make sure we were fully rested.
It's marginal gains, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Stage 4 is underway with a familiar run sprint. There still looks as though there's a fair amount of spring in the legs. Remember, they're only at the halfway stage of day 2, as they have to successfully negotiate their way through 3 stages across the entire day. And this second one is heavy on the intelligence. Running around the edges of the lake at Rother Valley Country Park. But now comes a twist en route to collecting their stage instructions. They actually need to get on the water, kayaking out to pick up the sealed envelope which will let their teams know what is required over the next couple of hours. Cricket fans, keep a close eye on the man and his grandson handing out the instructions. England Ashes winning record-breaking cricketer Lord Ian Botham, and he's here to represent Beefy's Foundation, his charitable organisation which all 75 teams are raising money for. A total of almost £100,000 will be distributed to 4 brilliant causes. The great man is sprinkling a little bit of stardust on day 2 here at the UK Challenge. No falls, no slips. Now attention turns to a very tough afternoon.
To be invited and part of this is big for us. Great promotion, though, I think, for the way that people can work together. It's a tough weekend, but I've heard no one complain. Everyone's just enjoying it, getting stuck in. If only I was 20 years younger.
Oh, I'm sure we could find a place for BP on one of these teams. Now, with just 2 hours on this stage, teams are visiting checkpoints on land and by boat. But these points by themselves don't earn any time bonus. They've also got to work out that the numbers given at each one are part of a grid reference used to find you know who.
So 370. So what we do, Edgar, 1 is 448, then 16.
I was wondering if it's map coordinates, but it's not.
Well, the first one looked like a map coordinate.
They are the map coordinates needed to find the spies, but here's the red herring. Only those holding the briefcases carry a time bonus.
The water is particularly calm at this time of year, my friend.
It is particularly calm, but it's the weather. It's good for the English cricket.
That might depend on who's playing.
Does the mallard fly south for winter?
I cannot tell you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Afternoon. Good afternoon.
How can I help you?
Can you help us? Your briefcase, sir? Can we see your briefcase?
I am the bad one. I am the decoy. It is my colleague you need to find.
Here you are. Check inside your briefcase, please.
It's a good day for cricket.
Oh, I love it. Lovely one.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
It's a nice day for the cricket.
Smashing the cricket.
All credit to our willing volunteers. I'm not sure Barbara Broccoli will be calling anytime soon. So plenty of spies have been found, but Airbus are still feeling the pressure.
This one's a coordinate, and then we're looking for a bench. That's as good as we've got.
But every grid reference successfully worked out and every spy found could help Airbus consolidate their lead.
Count him. We think so.
So we've released them or captured them.
Oh, good sprinting there from Team Benchmark. Everyone's in the mood, not feeling the fatigue too much yet. Oh, maybe Enigma Wellness think there's a spy in the ice cream van. Good tactic. One by one, the teams head in to the relief of the finish line. But remember, this is a very, very long day.
Miss Jelly Babies, talk to me about stage 4 there. How was it for your team?
Yeah, it was good. It was rapid. We were kayaking, muddy, wet, but yeah, good fun.
Oh, great work at the finish there from PA Consulting. And plenty of smiles for Sporting Force. Back on track after their slight disagreement early in stage 1. Well, time is beginning to run out on this stage, but that's a very composed finish by Accenture S&C.
You've used a fair amount of your allotted time there. Some people rushing back after 90 minutes. You were in no rush to get back. Outscoring points, presumably.
Yeah, there were some big pointers out there, and we've got a pretty speedy running team, so I felt like I'm pretty confident it was the right strategy. We've got, I think, we were expecting minus stage score, so yeah, good, and beautiful views.
They've done well, but AWE Dream Team have done even better. And defending champions Waka Waka are moving back up the leaderboard.
The guys were feeling fresh as they went into the water and just decided to power for it. Stage 2, we didn't have our best team performance, so we just decided that we'd leave it all out there in the next couple of stages and try and have some sort of redemption.
Most of the teams are home and done and dusted, but no sign of current leaders Airbus 1. Remember, every minute that they're late will cost them points. If it's more than a quarter of an hour, they forfeit anything they've gained on this stage. This is tight, but judged to perfection.
I was watching the clock on that one. You've taken that to the wire.
Yeah, about 4.5 minutes left to finish, but we went out and got, I think, about 50 minutes of bonus time in the last 20 minutes, so it's all worth it.
Airbus 1 still leading then, AWE Dream Team up to second, Accenture S&C down to third, and Waka Waka, the defending champions, are up to 5th from 9th. All still to play for.
Proving that today really has been a marathon and not a sprint. The final stage tonight will see the teams digging deep as the fatigue really starts to set in here at the Institute of Sport. Being challenged both physically and mentally is the order of the day once again, and the teamwork is going to be tested to the last in this late night stage.
Into the evening then here at the English Institute of Sport, site of so many wonderful athletic moments. There'll be one or two on display this evening, but on tired legs, I have no doubt. They're starting off with a sprint, but luckily for them, they're not having to go all the way round the 200-metre track. It wouldn't be intelligent sport if it was just flat-out sprinting. This stage also involves coded jigsaws and a physical version of snakes and ladders. The more intelligent the teams are on the puzzles, the less distance they'll have to run. And after the day they've had, the more energy they can conserve for tomorrow's big finish, the better.
Yes.
Not just flat-out speed, but reaction times are tested tonight as well. Oh, rapid-fire movements there from Team 17 Accenture FS1. And the evening finishes off with an eliminator relay around the track. Every scrap of energy squeezed out of all 75 teams, and they get ready to do it all again tomorrow. The final day of the challenge sees the teams taken to a quarry in the rain with no further information supplied whatsoever. Tension just beginning to build.
Stage 6 will see who has constructed the best combination of team players and leaders in this build stage that requires not only a salt course balance but an eye for a target when coming in hot as they zip through the sky. And as an added twist, the team captains are starting the stage by being kidnapped in there.
Well, only the team captains know what is about to happen. They're not much use up here when their teams are 200 metres below them in the quarry. It's cold, it's blustery, but there's a UK Challenge title on the line. So flat out from everybody on this penultimate stage of 7. Oh, and here's a little unexpected challenge. Solve the expression. It's not just about how fast you can race to the instructions. So can you solve this common everyday expression? One or two puzzled faces there. But it looks like CGI Northern Powerhouse think they've got it. So much easier when it's written on a screen. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And still they wait. Every second counts. But now they've arrived at Mount Cook Adventure Centre, where the teams are reunited with their captains. Remember, it's only the captain that has the information as to what needs to unfold over the next couple of hours. Briefings will have to happen on the run, on the move, straight back down to everyone else, testing conditions, and this second from last stage is where vital ground can be made up, even in the rain and the wind and the cold. Pride on the line after all. Right, what the teams have been told by their captains is that with a few pieces of wood and elastic and no shortage of initiative and engineering, they have to build a catapult. The further they can fire the balls, the more time bonus they will earn. Yes, we can see you too. Bonus balls can be added by successfully getting around this obstacle course without spilling a drop. The more water that's preserved, the more bonus balls are provided. And once again, as is always the case with the UK Challenge,
absolutely not.
This is so much harder than it looks. 1 ball earned there. More ammunition for the teammates building the catapult. Oh, so near and yet so far. It really is a balancing act. Oh, PwC just slipping off. And what about this from CGI, Team 34? This is a great effort to keep this going. Trying to raise the right leg. Oh, and she's pushed it off with her calf. As well as the obstacle course, there is a need for pinpoint accuracy on the zip wire. One beanbag in the central bucket gives 2 balls. One beanbag on the outer ring of buckets will give 1 extra ball for the catapult. Oh, and there's a bullseye moment on the archery, knocking off the builder's hat. Not quite so lucky for that team. 1 ball for every hat put on the floor. Some interesting techniques here. Now for the moment of truth. Well, the overall leaders, Airbus One, are aerospace engineers, so surely they should have this one in the bag. Oh, it's a nod of approval. That's pretty good. Some great creations here. So far, so good for most of these teams. Brilliant ingenuity being displayed. Mostly. Now, this is an interesting creation. It was sideways instead of straight over the top, but it all still counts. Oh dear, oh dear. Good to see that some of these teams can see the funny side. Gently, gently, not that gently. Slowly, slowly. Well, it did go forward by about a foot. Does that count? Should do.
And so the competition reaches its peak with the Grand Prix stage that is stage 7. And this one has it all. Strategy, running, biking, canoeing, and plenty of grit and determination required if your team are going to be fastest across the finish line and maybe in the process take the overall title. It is set to be a gripping finale, and albeit a very wet one. So let's go and rejoin the action with your race commentator, Rob Walker.
Well, the tough conditions just make stage 7 all the more memorable, you suspect. Airbus One are in the lead by over an hour and a quarter. AWE Dream Team in second, Accenture S&C in third. One last sprint to come. This stage is building on everything the teams have learnt, and our official starter is Lord Ian Botham. They're underway. The power of change and the power of flat-out pace. The run takes them back past Mount Cook Adventure Centre once more. Good running this by Accenture 12, that's Tom Howell. Determined to finish with a win on this opening sprint. It's an out and back, this one, so they'll soon be going round a pretty tight turn, and he'll get a glimpse as to just how big his lead is. There he is on the left of picture, just behind the motorbike. Good running as well by Paul Berry, Sporting Force, and Harry Smith of CGI. Now comes the turn, and Howell is still in front. Blustery conditions here in the Peak District, but it has been a wonderful backdrop to the competition. Howell begins to tire. That's good running from Harry Smith, who comes through. All under the watchful eye of the great Beefy Botham. So one final big push into the end of the competition. There's AWE Dream Team. They're in second place overall, but they're leading this stage 7 at the moment. Good running, high knee lift, helping his teammates along. Here's Waka Waka. Second at the moment, but overall, they are not looking likely for a podium finish unless they do something spectacular here right at the very end. And they're all chasing Airbus One, Team 37. They are the overall leaders. Good running by Accenture, just coming through. Accenture now moving into third today, really working up this incline. This is a 1K climb up to Middleton Top. Now some bragging rights changing hands here. The helicopter pilots are being brushed aside by Accenture S&C. Wonder how they'll respond here. Wearing number 1, well, they had a target put on the back of their bibs, and right now Gatsby and the rest of Accenture S&C have used it to track them down. Meanwhile, this is AWE Dream Team, and they are first to arrive at the brain cell. And this could be a game-changing moment for the entire competition. No team is allowed to leave the brain cell unless they have solved the Mensa puzzle. And here it is. What is the combined area of the square tiles? Note tiles are not drawn to scale. They are given in millimetres, centimetres and metres. And huge amounts of time can be gained or lost right now in these key moments.
No.
And the observant among you will have spotted there are only 2 squares, top left and bottom right. And that's the reason many of these teams will be continuing to get this wrong.
No.
Accenture S&C thought they had it. Somebody surely.
No.
1005.
AWE Dream Team thought they had it. Surely there's got to be someone here.
Yes.
And it's Waka Waka, the defending champions, who are the first to get the nod.
Go, just one.
Go. How vital could this edge prove to be for the men who have clawed their way up the leaderboard, having started only just inside the top 10? Meanwhile, the waiting and the anxiety grows.
Right, team on.
We're out. Airbus out.
Airbus are now back out onto the course. Leading overall, remember, but how much time have they lost to Waka Waka? And there's AWE Dream Team finally getting the better of the brain cell.
Go. Damn it. Northern Powerhouse. Come on.
That was a really, really tough brain cell. The spirits are still good, despite the weather and the difficulty of the challenges. Well, if the first brain cell was tricky, the second is no easier. Oh, AWE Dream Team are on fire. They've solved this brain cell so quickly, and that could prove crucial in the battle for the overall title.
Thank you. Well done. Good luck.
The key with this brain cell is working out the most important pieces of information, and it looks like they've got it. A comedian is an anagram of Macedonia, a marine, Armenia, grey man, Germany. So what about Jose is a salad lover, but where's he from? Salad lover is an anagram for which country?
That's an anagram.
It certainly is.
No.
AWE Dream Team are safely on their way. The answer is the Central American country of El Salvador. Now the big drive for the title reaches another level. Accenture S&C losing valuable time here. Now they're on their way. Their faces a picture of concentration. Airbus 1 look like they feel they've done just enough for the overall crown. But this is AWE Dream Team. They were so quick to work out it was El Salvador at the second brain cell. Massive performance from them. And it could have come at the crucial time of the overall competition. The whole team have to finish together. 4 on the bike, and they pick up the other 2 just ahead of the finish. There's Airbus. They can afford to lose a little bit of time on AWE Dream Team, but not much. full focus and concentration required for this crown. The UK Challenge title 2023 in the Peak District is right on the line. Great speed from Waka Waka, but surely they've left it too late to go for back-to-back titles. A tough incline, but still enough energy for a wink for the camera from Waka Waka. They've left themselves too much to do to take the overall title, but they could finish with a really impressive individual stage win. No problem from Enigma. They look like they've had a brilliant 3 days.
Go on, Accenture! Woo!
Ha! Gatsby's greats are still driving on towards the finish with spirits high. Before that, one last effort required on the kayaks, a quick paddle round the island at Carsington Water. And then the run in to the relief and the glory of the finish line. No one wants to take a dip this close to the end of an epic 3 days of action. Mind you, bearing in mind the amount of rain we've had, they're probably already soaked. Here we go then. Waka Waka finished with an individual victory, and that will make up for the fact that they have relinquished their crown from 12 months ago. Brilliant stage 7.
Would be absolutely delighted with a final stage win. There's always stage 8 to come, which is the party afterwards, which we tend to win as well. The boys left absolutely everything out there, cycled, canoed, all the way back, so yeah, 100% grit, determination in order to finish strong. I think we kind of grew into it a little bit, slow to start. We only get together once a year, so pretty pleased with how we finished the competition.
So too, AWE Dream Team. It's not the overall title, but they do finish with a very respectable silver.
I do love it. It's maybe my 14th challenge, but I'll be back for more. Absolutely great.
I couldn't have asked anything more from these guys. And we've absolutely emptied ourselves in this last stage. We gave it everything, so thank you to all you guys. And yeah, well, we'll be back next year no matter what.
Accenture S&C made no secret of their desire to take the title, but they're on the podium again, this time in 3rd.
It's been great fun, always loved it. Some really, really good stages this year and a fantastic team, so yeah, it's been great.
And lads, what we're saying in the middle here, you're veterans of this now, as tough as ever.
It's getting tougher. Like, this is the toughest UK challenge I've done.
There's the glorious finish of the soon-to-be crowned champions. Airbus One are back on top, where they always believed they belonged. They reign supreme in the Peak District. Confirmation that Airbus One have taken the title, and by almost an hour and a quarter. AWE Dream Team in 2nd, Accenture S&C in 3rd, Waka Waka, the defending champions, in 5th.
So Dave, how about this? Huge congratulations, the Airbus Team 37, they did you proud. Another fantastic win.
Absolutely smashed it, really smashed it today. You know, start to finish, build stage, the grand finale. We are absolutely knackered, but well deserved.
It was amazing. Everyone sort of pulled together and shared the load. Mainly Davey pulling a lot of the weight, but it was good. We got there in the end.
Even if it wasn't raining, it would have been a tough one to get around in the time we did. So really, really, really impressed with the team.
One thing is for certain, none of these teams will forget their time on the 2023 UK Challenge.
It's absolutely fantastic. I've heard it spoken about over the last few years, and my first time, and it's everything that it was kind of made out to be.
Resilience, that's what it's all about, and it builds the friendships. Everyone's done their best, lots of new people, lots of novices, just building teams. It's brilliant, excellent.
These girls, they've absolutely smashed it. It's the first year PA Consulting's had an all-girls team, and they've absolutely outdone themselves.
It's been really, really difficult, but I think we've had a lot of fun times, and it's been good. It's been hard work, but fun. I've definitely enjoyed it. I think maybe a bit more training next time, but for sure, I've enjoyed it and I would definitely do it again.
Awesome team. You should pan around to them because they've been wicked. Yesterday was a great day. Loved yesterday. Absolutely amazing. Today, bit of a washout. Doesn't dampen our spirits.
It wasn't rough, it was epic. Loved every moment of it. The off-road, the on-road, the uphill, the downhill. We all clubbed in, we got in a line, we followed each other, we made it.
Quite a few of us did it for the first time, so the blind leading the blind sometimes, but apart from that, it's been class, it's been really good.
Well, organisers promised a magnificent 7 stages of physical, intellectual and strategic challenges. This has been a huge success for everyone in the Peak District. The UK Challenge is in good health after celebrating teamwork for 3 decades. The 2023 edition in the Peak District has been superb.
Well, not even the rain could dampen the spirits of this lot. What a fantastic end to 3 days of competition where fitness, teamwork and strategy have been tested to the limit in the most beautiful surroundings. Huge congratulations to all of the teams that took part, who really have shown us what the spirit of this competition is all about. We'll be back next year in 2024 when the competition moves to Dartmoor, and we would love it if you could join us there. Until next time though, from all of us here in the Peak District, see ya.